When the sun's out, bathe in sunlight. But when the moon's out...
Stabilize! The three points in my hand. Behold the false moon's fall!
Brightest flames burn fastest.
Solidify!
Quietly now. Things up. See? Go!
You cannot face me! Blades of cold resolve!
Go!
Entro! Crumble! Stabilize!
Rain outlines your busted. Here comes the cash. Know my sword. Witness the power of good. Quietly now.
Reverse!
Cross over!
Blades of cold resolve!
Rain outlines your fate. Ring cutter, know my soul. Busted. Things are about to get done.
How dull! Intro! Me! Stabilize!
Let me weave you a verse. Rain outlines your... Here comes the catch.
Reverse! With the marrow of the three moons in my hand, behold the false moon's fall! Gather!
Witness the power of Gugwa. Things are about to get set. Go!
I swear I'm the icon, so I can't go any lower.
That's what I'll make tonight. Lord Barbados, please see to
That's quite a crowd over there.
Hi everyone. I'm Sansa, and I'm working on becoming a bard. Thanks for coming out today, and I guess I'll start the song now.
All goes quiet on Star Snatch Cliff. High in the trees, all is...
Oh wait, sorry, that's not right.
High in the trees, no whiff of the wind, no sign of the birds, no flapping of wings.
Then it goes.
Pause. Pause for a moment, and...
Oh gosh, this is so embarrassing. I'm making a complete mess of this. I didn't get tongue-tied at all on the 42nd time, or the 90th time. So why can't I get it right now?
The 42nd and 90th time?
Yep. I rehearsed this 100 times to try and perfect my performance. So, this is my 101st time playing this song. But my first time performing it live. I really thought it would go well this time. But nope. I blew it again. Though not for lack of practice, surely. I guess I need to figure out what I was doing right on my 42nd and 90th attempts and keep practicing.
Right. That amount of practice should have been more than enough. If it still isn't working, maybe it's more a question of how you've been practicing. Actually, the Traveler here has loads of experience with performing music. Why don't you tell us what your method is? Maybe we can give you some suggestions. And, Paimon can give you pro tips from an audience perspective, as a highly seasoned and professional audience person.
Aw, that's so kind of you. I'm touched that you're willing to help me. Give me a second. Let me just check my notes. Or, actually, why don't I just give you my notes so you can read them for yourself?
Notes about what?
Just things I jot down after each practice. Stuff to watch out for, areas to improve on, etc. Oh, but you can ignore the second half. That's just my random thoughts on other people's performances and trying out different instruments.
Whoa, this is denser than the encyclopedias in the Mondstadt library. So are you like a music scholar, collector, librarian?
Well, my parents always hoped I'd become a scholar, so they made me take classes in all of those things and more. But now, I'm applying Well, I'm all ears. Where do you think I'm going wrong? Have I misunderstood some core principles of music theory, perhaps? Or am I approaching my rehearsals wrong?
Paimon never knew being a bard was such hard work. The tone-deaf bard always makes it look so easy. He never seems stressed out at all. And still, his singing and lyre playing always sound really great. Unless he's actually been practicing in secret.
Venti!
Ah! Tone-deaf bard, where did you come from? Well, Paimon sure hasn't missed that attitude.
A whoosh?
So it must have been a cat that stole the leaf, right? And with your allergies, you can't exactly go chasing it down.
I can help too, Venti. Your music has always been a huge inspiration to me, so it would be my honor. And, after we find it, could I get some advice on songwriting from you? Sorry, I know I shouldn't spring that on you. I was just worried if I stayed quiet now, I might be too shy to ask later, and I didn't want to let the opportunity slip by, so... Wow, really? Okay, I'll...
Huh? But then, why did her...
I guess I just lack that natural talent. Let me think. Maybe it was a sense of yearning. Back when my parents forced me to stay in my room and study, I'd always hear this bard singing outside the window. His wonderful melodies and beautiful voice were like a soft breeze that stirred my heart. I remember thinking to myself, if I became... Yeah, that's it. I wanted to be free and happy just like him. And like him, I wanted to share that joy with the whole world. But I get so nervous when I'm performing in front of a crowd. I try to mitigate that by doing plenty of practice to make sure nothing goes wrong. But it's no use. As soon as the performance starts, I get tongue-tied. What? But I can't even get my words out.
Exactly. If you really want to share freedom and joy with the world, first you need to be the freest and happiest person of them all.
So, I've got to be my freest, happiest self in order to share that with others. Yeah! That makes a lot of sense! Oh, thank you all.
In that case, Paimon will be the audience.
That was my first ever successful performance in front of a crowd. For once, I didn't stumble over my words. Oh, Once the music started, it felt like I became one with the wind. I could roam freely, and nothing could stop me.
The audience definitely felt it too. Look, even that cat came to check out the show. Wait, a cat?
Oh, Charcoal! So it was you! I'm sorry, that's my neighbor's cat. Whenever I'm rehearsing, it always comes to sit on the windowsill and listen in.
What was that in its mouth? Was it the leaf with Venti's poem?
Charcoal! That belongs to Venti. It's very important to him. Could you give it back? You've helped me so much. I feel bad that I have no way to repay you.
Gone like the wind.
I can hardly believe I got a personal lesson from Venti himself. I must find time. I can't offer much, but... Oh!
Stabilize!
No, my sword! Huh? Up! Rain cutter!
Cross over!
Gather!
No, my sword! Let me weave you a verse. Huh? Gotcha. Game's up.
Ad Astra. Thank you for Ad Astra.
We meet again. Kachina told me everything. I'll deliver the message to the Masters of the Nightwind and convince Sitlali to give you a chance. I'll also take this chance to explain what happened to the Spirit Speaker Stone and offer her an apology in person.
I'm sorry to put this on you, Kanich. It's just that you're probably the only person who knows how to deal with her.
It's alright. We're all working for the sake of the Pyro Archon's plan, after all. Everyone here understands how dire the situation has become.
Oh, wait, so Kachina and the Traveler also know about the plan?
Because we all saw a hero of the past rematerialize right before our eyes. And then Mualani said that a ton of knowledge and memory suddenly flooded her brain. The Pyro Archon explained everything when we came back from the Night Kingdom, including the reason behind the appearance of the hero, as well as the current state of the Night Kingdom.
Right. She mentioned there are 6 heroes and that Shilonen is one of 4 that have already been acknowledged.
Oh, well, then I suppose there's no need to keep any secrets between us. Having companions walk by your side is perhaps the best solace when facing such a bleak reality.
I have another piece of intel to share. We've pretty much identified the person who rescued the captain in the Stadium of the Sacred Flame. His name is Auroron, and he also hails from the Masters of the Nightwind. However, he spent most of his life living out in the wilderness by himself, away from the rest of the tribe. That's why his disappearance went unnoticed. By the time Sitlali finally realized that he was gone, no one had heard from him for quite a while.
Sitlali knows him too?
That's right. Auroron was an orphan raised by the chief of the Masters of the Nightwind and many other kind-hearted people in his tribe. Still, he's had something of an odd reputation his whole life.
Odd.
Given how the Masters of the Night Wind love to babble about dreams and revelations, they're already a pretty strange bunch to most. I've never met Auroran, but if they consider him the odd one, he's got to be pretty far out there.
That's right. So in that sense, Auroran and Citlali actually have quite a bit in common, which is why they get along pretty well.
Makes sense. But Paimon wonders how Citlali could be the first one to notice Auroran's disappearance if she spends the whole day in her room.
As of now, Citlali is probably...
Huh, so if I'm following, you mean we'll help her investigate Auroran and the captain's whereabouts?
Yes. If you're all on board with the idea, then it becomes a mutually beneficial collaboration, rather than just a one-sided request. Even though I don't think Citlali is the kind of person to turn down an order from the Pyro Archon, working together with us will help her focus and not get distracted by the whole Auroran situation.
Yeah. Plus, we kinda owe...
Ah, this is a pretty well thought out plan. As expected of Molly. Then, yeah, I'll leave my letter.
Sure. I'll head...
Take care out there, Kanich. I'll be heading back as well.
Okay, then let's part ways for now.
Weird. Jean said this is where the event is supposed to be, but there's nothing here. that you mention it. This is where our journey officially began. That sure brings back memories. Kinda nostalgic, really. Even after all this time, this place hasn't changed one bit. Look who's getting all sentimental and poetic. Well, we still need to find Jean and the others. Let's have a look around. Remembers, there used to be hydro slime hiding here, but it's gotta be gone now, right? Whoa! A fungus? Are those supposed to be in Mondstadt? Not that these are a real threat to us at this point, but still!
Yeah! Yeah!
Hear that? They said this isn't hard enough. Should I grab a Geobishop for the next round then?
Is this really the time to get competitive?
Did you hear that, Paimon?
Here. You can't even eat them. Hold on. Could this be an event setup thing? Not a lot of people come here, but a bomb's still a bomb. If someone gets hurt by accident, Klee's gonna get marched off to the confinement room again. Yeah, but let's take a picture with the camera before we take them down. First the fungus, and now this? Something weird is going on. If it turns out not to be event-related, it'll be good to have a record of what we found. You couldn't just compliment Paimon's smarts like a regular person? Whatever. Paimon will take it. Better than being called emergency food, at least. Anyway, it never hurts to be careful. We've seen the short end of the stick a bunch of times, too. Paimon likes the optimism. Come on, let's get that picture taken. Then, get rid of these bombs. Fireworks! Guess there was no danger after all. Were those meant to welcome us or something? Anyway, we should be good here. Let's keep going. Huh. What was it Paimon said back then? Ah, right! Oh, wow! That's a statue of the seven! Among the seven gods, this god controls the wind. You remember too. It's weird though. It seems like there's something different about it. Let's take a closer look. Look! There really is something wrong with the statue of the seven! Okay, Paimon's sure of it now. This can't be for an event. No one in their right mind would replace that huge statue of the seven with a statue of Klee. Yeah, and well made too. But that's not the point. You're not weirded out by this? Oh, you're right. This must be Alice's doing. She could put 100 Klee statues all around Mondstadt and Paimon still wouldn't be surprised. That explains the other weird stuff we saw up till now, too. She must have asked Jean to write that letter so we'd lower our guard. No, wait! maybe that was Alice just pretending to be Jean. Paimon wouldn't put it past her. Yeah, Paimon's not upset. The surprises were nice, and this statue is pretty cool. Plus, we got to take a little trip down memory lane. What do we do now, though? There's nobody around. If this is some sort of elaborate prank, guess we're in it until the people behind... Huh? What does that mean? Oh, yeah. And there could be even more. Guess all there's left to do is touch the... Maybe it'll give you the power of pyro or something.
The world opens itself before those with noble hearts.
Surprises. Good guessing on your part. Let's keep going and see what else we find. Back then. Anyway, since he's here, that must mean we're about to meet another old friend in these woods. The Goblin was tainted by the Abyss, and Tone Deaf Bard was about to heal his wounds. But your control over Animo wasn't so great, so they noticed you and ran off. But you've had tons of practice since then, so mistakes like that should be a thing of the past. Right? Sure. Here goes nothing. Well, this is awkward. You really hung Paimon out to dry there, Traveler.
Apologies. You were just even livelier than I remembered, and I wasn't expecting it.
Which means mission accomplished on the surprise front, I suppose. What do you say, Alice? High marks.
Oh, yes, indeed. That was fantastic. I've recorded it all, in fact.
Huh! So you were watching us all along. And... hold on. You can't just record people like that!
What a delightful reunion. Welcome to Mondstadt, you two. The place where it all began.
Whoa! This is way too many books! Considering this library organizing job was classified as a premium commission, Paimon and came mentally prepared, you know? But seeing it in person is something else.
Why, if it isn't Cutie and Paimon? What brings you back to Mondstadt? Let me guess. You missed me so much you just had to come visit. Is that it? You've become quite the flatterer since we last saw each other, haven't you?
Found you! We were starting to think you weren't clocking in today.
Well, I wasn't planning to. But then, Catherine mentioned someone had finally accepted an important commission for the library. So I came to check on things. Might you both be here for that very commission by any chance? Ah, music to my ears. Now, as you can see, a certain anonymous benefactor has donated a large amount of books to us. Imagine my surprise when a glance down the book list revealed that each one would be an entirely new addition to our collection. There are books of all different kinds, including quite a few that are banned. Troublesome, I know. So this wasn't an odd job I could trust to just anyone. And sorting them myself? My, what a headache that would be. It would take ages. All that to say, I'm very relieved to see you here. I would treat you to some tea, of course, but looking at the state of this place, perhaps another time, yes?
Don't worry. Just leave the commission to us.
You're as sweet as ever, Paimon.
Finally! We made it to the last stack! What even are some of these books? A Hilichurl's Guide to Running for Your Life? Do Hilichurls even read? Oh, and Basics of Whopper Flower Cultivation. Who'd grow one of those, anyway? And what's this one? The Little Witch's Dictionary? Huh. Well, witches...
Yoo-hoo! Looking for me?
Alice? How did you get in here?
You must not have noticed, Paimon. I wasn't the one who barged in at all. When you opened that dictionary, you entered a mage's domain.
What? Ugh! Paimon knew that book had issues.
Have you ever read the storybook The Little Witch and the Undying Fire by any chance? No matter. At least in name, this book was written as a dictionary for the other one. The actual contents of the two aren't related at all, though.
That explanation makes things even more confusing.
Oh dear. Where should I begin? You know the promise the Hexen Circle made to Varka at the Tripartite Conference, yes? Namely, that in Mondstadt's greatest time of need, the mages would return and lend their aid to the nation? Well, waiting around for danger to descend upon the land isn't exactly our style. Rather than a scenario where we jump in and save the day out of nowhere, it makes more sense to lay the groundwork over time. That's how Em put it. Besides, who knows when such a crisis could occur? It could be in the next life, or even tomorrow. Preparation is crucial. So, I gathered the mages together to write this dictionary. Of course, it had to be under the guise of being related to that storybook. Otherwise, I would never have been able to get them in one place. Well, we looked into Barbie's scryglass and came up with a series of tasks tailor-made for the people of Mondstadt. They're all in this dictionary, striving toward a common goal, overcoming obstacles alongside trusted companions, becoming better versions of ourselves. That is the best defense against what dangers could lie ahead.
You make it sound like something bad is actually about to happen.
Now, I never said that. But still, we are talking about trusted companions here, Paimon. And when we speak of a person who could be considered a friend to all in Mondstadt, I'm afraid
Wait, the huge book donation? That was just an excuse to get us here, wasn't it? We had to spend ages sorting through them, you know.
Oh dear, I never could have imagined you would need to go to such trouble.
Sure you didn't.
Well, this is an important book. I couldn't just bring it into Teyvat without taking any precautions. Much better to hide it in plain sight, you see. That's why I donated all those other books to the library. Besides, it's not like this is a bad thing. Just think of it as an excuse to reunite with old friends. And as a favor to your dear Aunt Alice.
Okay. If the goal, we'll take the dictionary. And the next time we run into our friends...
Wonderful.
I'll take that as a yes, then. Ah, finally, you're here! Do you have a message for me from someone by any chance? There's not a single prophecy about you in that dictionary. That's what you were about to say, right? Oh? One moment, then. Your curiosity seems as strong as ever, Barbeloth. Alas, my future will have to remain absent from your dictionary. The wind may be happy to let dandelions trace its form and have poets sing it into verse, but to be contained is hardly its nature. So, dear Barbeloth, please do set your pen down. Words heard on the wind are not meant to be recorded on the page. If you're truly interested in this legend, allow me to fashion it into a poem. I'll be sure to share it with you ladies at our next tea party. Barbeloth has always been a reasonable person, and I believe she heard my request. As such, our conversation should be free from interruptions for now.
Wait! Barbeloth was listening in just now? Paimon didn't notice a thing!
Well, she is a Hexenzirkel mage. They all have quite a few tricks up their sleeves.
Still, you noticed right away and even got her to leave us alone. Doesn't that make you the real master at cards here?
Given the various practical factors at play, I'd call myself a master with limits.
There you go, being all secretive again. Well, anyway, there wasn't a single thing about you in that dictionary.
You being here is enough. Barbeloth's prophecy concerning me may be incomplete, but it's not incorrect. There's something I need to do, and I could indeed use your help. Trusty as always. In that case, could you play a song with me later? Yep, that's all. But don't worry, this isn't a performance to decide the fate of some consequential event. It's just a duet between friends. The last time I played this song, the howling gale was my sole audience, and the notes scattered in all directions, leaving only fragments of the melody behind. But now, with a friend like you by my side, why should the wind alone bear witness to this music? Besides, I think my hands will be just that much steadier, playing alongside a trusty friend like you. That's all I ask. Now, let's head to the performance venue. If we follow the breeze, we'll be there in no time. All right, let's get going. Just relax and let the wind lead the way. No need to hold your breath. In and out. Easy does it. I let the birds know we would be coming, so we won't run into them. Don't worry. It's just a little ocean spray. You won't get soaked. Ah, the delightful sea breeze. Go on, breathe it in. We're almost there.
Familiar.
Not always. It was once an isle like any other. An ordinary, unassuming aggregation of sand and gravel. That is, until seeds of stories were brought here by the wind and cultivated by time. And in due course, the wind brought forth new tales, and time caused them to grow into legends. So with that, allow me to welcome you in truth to this island favored by time, traveler. This is the place where time and wind met in the distant past.
Whoa! You suddenly sound so serious, Tone-Deaf Bard. Paimon's not sure she's following this conversation anymore either.
Fret not, dear Paimon. The best stories always start with a bit of suspense and intrigue. Once upon a time, I summoned the first winds of freedom on behalf of Mondstadt's people. With the aid of those winds, liberty was returned to all who were owed it. But forceful gales like that are most suited to wiping things clean, not helping things grow. So, after a few crises in Mondstadt were resolved, I made the winds gentler. Just strong enough to bolster the people in times of need without knocking them off their feet. Shadows gather in the distance. I'm sure you felt it too. I've heard about the Pyro Archon's face-off with the ruler of death, Renova, and what happened to the Fatui Harbinger, the captain. And that's not even mentioning how abyssal activity has been encroaching closer and closer to Mondstadt. I fear the impending crisis may be beyond what humans alone can solve. In light of that, I need to be prepared. It is the Animo Archon's duty to intervene in times of need. As such, I, Barbados, will bring forth a wind strong enough to disperse whatever storm lies ahead. But if I whip up a gale of such strength in Mondstadt City, it would just turn the place upside down. Clothes, hats, the flowers that rest on people's balconies. That's why I chose to do it here. A place where I once offered an ode to time. Who knows? Perhaps time shows this island special favor precisely on account of my lovely, lovely music.
Wait, so is this place really that special? It sure doesn't look like it. There's a tide that ebbs and flows, and a bunch of birds that come and go. It just seems normal.
Time's impact on things isn't limited to what the eye can see. Think of it like a ripe sunsetia. If the outer peel remains intact, it's nearly impossible for the average person to tell whether the fruit inside is ripe. But even the tiniest hole in said peel will cause the fruit to rot, starting from that spot. Nestled in the hands of time, not one blemish marks this island's peel. Thus, time's influence on its very essence remains hidden to all. At the most fundamental level, of course, all things that lack time's favor will be erased at some point. But with the power that remains here, I can leverage time to draw a boundary around the wind. That way, the outside world won't notice a thing, no matter how powerful of a gale I whip up here. Of course, as the one requesting help, I should offer something in return. That's why I invited you here, traveler. So we could perform an ode to time together. Just let me know when you're ready. Oh, and I can lend you an instrument if you need one. No worries. Just come find...